Welcome back, guys, for the last installment of my end of the year makeup declutter. Today we are covering all things lips, so lip glosses, lip balms, lipsticks, lip stains, lip oils, all the things. You guys know that a big pillar of my channel has been lip products, so you can imagine probably that my collection is a little bit overkill. It's a lot, and there is a lot of products that just need to go, that I don't touch. And we're also going to be decluttering all of my eyeshadows. We have a ton of really great holy grail eyeshadow palettes here, a lot of indie makeup actually that I have been discovering this year as well, and some cream shadows, some single shadows, literally all of the things. And this video was definitely tough because I love holding on to lip products and eye products, but I am going to be taking you guys along with me so you can kind of see my thought process, do this whole refresh together, and really get down and dirty with what we declutter. Hey guys, welcome to the jungle. I don't know why that phrase was the first one that popped into my head, but it was. This is my makeup collection along with this, which we'll get to later. I know you can't see that fully, but these are my lipsticks, my lip glosses, my lip liners, my lip balms, my lip oils. All the things lie in these drawers. They're heavy, they are excessive. A lot of these are because I have a lot of lip swatch videos, if I'm honest. Lip products have a special place in my heart. They are the reason why I started my channel in the first place. A lot of these, I had the full collections because that's what I used to do. I used to do full collection swatch videos, and I don't know, I just hold on to them. I like to have them for reference, and I spent the money on them, so I was like, I'm gonna keep them. But to be quite honest with you guys, I want to say 70% of everything in here as well as in that other drawer does not get used, and that's just not okay. So many of these formulations are incredible. I don't think I've kept any formula that I don't like, so you're gonna see all of these. Just know that I love pretty much everything in here, but there's no need for me to have every single color of every single collection. So we're gonna go in. I have a piece of paper here, or a couple sheets of paper actually, so I can swatch different lipsticks on here, and then I can determine which colors I wanna keep. I know it's gonna translate differently on here than it does on my actual skin, but for the most part, I have prior knowledge of what these look like on my skin and on my face because I swatched all of them. So anyways, let's get started. I'm gonna pull things that I know that I'm going to be keeping so we can like get those things out of the way. So first off, this is in my project pan, Summer Fridays lip butter balm in vanilla beige. I'm actually going to keep all of my lip butter balms. I like them. I still reach for them. They're not the longest wearing ones. They're not the thickest ones, but sometimes I do crave something that's a little lightweight on the lips. So I'm gonna keep these. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, I'm probably not gonna do a great job decluttering my lip products. The Edam Lit Choo Choo Lip Softening Balms, some of the best balms to come out in 2024, hands down. I have all of the shades. They sent them to me when they first launched, and these are incredible. Ulla Henriksen, I'm keeping. My Naturium I'm keeping. I have a lot of Naturium. If you guys do not know, I have a lip balm video where I compare all of the Squeezy Tube lip balm brands and products that I own to each other. So check that out if you're interested in my thoughts on all of my lip balms, but I'm keeping all the Naturium ones. Go figure, huh? The Persona lip balms I am also keeping. These are nice and opaque, slightly thicker. I would say a little less thick than the Naturium ones, but they have really great pigmentation as well. I have 1K Skin lip balm because my friend Leah Janae had suggested it to me when we were shopping at Sephora, so I picked that up. I have 3 of the e.l.f. Squeeze lip balms, keeping those. All of the beautiful Tower 28 lip softies. Again, these are going to be a, ooh, that's a Naturium one. These are gonna be a thinner, more lightweight consistency when it comes to balms, but I like having these for reference and for comparison's sake. And I also reach for these once in a while whenever I want to top a lip color with something hydrating. These are great because they're not overpowering. I have all of these Kaja lip oils, which I'm keeping because every single one of these actually look incredible on the lips. These are newer ones that they came out with this year. They're like the cream versions where they're more opaque, while these are going to be more of the sheer transparent ones. And the colors of these are so beautiful. These feel super hydrating. I also have Fig Smoothie, but oh, this is Fig Smoothie. I have another cream shade that is currently in my purse, but there's 3 like creamy shades and then the rest are going to be the opaque ones. So I kept this one. I got this at an Asian beauty store. It's the Frutia lip balm. I believe it's a Korean lip balm. I'm honestly not too crazy about this. I love the smell of it. It's like a fresh mango, but I never reached for this. So this is going to be our first declutter. Physicians Formula tinted lip conditioners. These are really good. They feel super creamy on the lips. I'm going to keep those. I also have these that I had purchased myself, and then during the Creators and Friends trip, they gifted us some. So I have, what shades are these? Beach Bronze. I don't know what this one is because the label got ripped off of it. And then I have Pink Paradise and Brazilian Berry. I have this LA Girl Sheer Tint Lip Balm. This is a really good one as well, but I never reach for this. It's a beautiful color. It doesn't come off quite as intense as it is in the tube since it is that sheer color, but I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one. Keeping the Gisou lip oils. I don't reach for these very often if I'm being quite honest, but again, I wanna keep these as reference pieces and they're not that old. I got this, I have it labeled June 2024. This one is probably a year older than the other ones, but I think they're still good. And again, just good reference points. I'm gonna go ahead and declutter these. These are the Versed tinted lip oils. They sent these to me in PR this year. I did just swatch it on the back of my hand, even though I said I'm gonna do these on the papers. They're very slippery. They're called Silk Slip. So, I mean, they're not super thick or anything like that, like I usually like. I don't think I'm going to need all of these colors. I think I'll go ahead and declutter this pink one and I'll declutter the red one too. So I'll just keep this, which is in the shade Fig. This is the Kaja Jelly Charm. I actually have all of these shades. They're in a box right now with a bunch of like Asian beauty lip products. This one just happens to be in here because I use it fairly often. I was complaining about how you don't know the names of these, but someone actually commented and told me that if you take off this little rubber bumper thing, then you can see the name of the color. So I was like, oh, that's cool. I wish you didn't have to do all of that. Let me do it. But the color is definitely back there. This is in the shade Peach Fuzz. Can we just look at how little this compartment is, like how little product is probably in here? That's wild, but I'm gonna keep these. I really like these. I think that they stain the lips very well. All right, I just swiped all of these. These are the Kaja Love Swipes. They're kind of like a moussey lip stain texture. I have 4 of them here, except I'm pretty sure that I have more, and I'm going to keep all of them except for this last one right here. That last one is called number 1 Call Me, and then I'm gonna keep all 3 of these. And in order the swatches is Every Girl, then we have Swipe Right, and then we also have Sweet Softy. So I'm going to keep those. Okay, my only 2 Clarins lip oils. I feel like I need to keep these again as reference points, but I do not reach for these solely because I hate the smell of them. I hate the way that the Clarins lip oils smell. They feel incredible, but man, they smell so strongly. The same thing with the Milani Fruit Fetish lip oils. They basically smell identical, but again, I feel like I want these for reference points for lip oils in general, so I'm gonna keep these. I do have this Clinique Moisture Surge lip balm that they sent me. I'm gonna keep that one. And I have 2 of the Sheer Slicks from e.l.f. These are in the shade Golden Pear and Black Cherry. This one is the one that has been compared to Black Cherry or Black Honey from Clinique time and time again. So I'm going to keep that one because I definitely feel like this is a classic color and this is a great formulation as well. And I love this Golden Pear shade. I think that it is such a unique, beautiful, orangey nude shade. Let me do a quick swatch here for you guys on this paper so you can kind of see it. There is that color, and on the lips, if you have any sort of pigmentation, it does kind of like tone down that orangeness to it, and it is very sheer like it says. Back here, I actually have a bunch of the KKW Beauty lip sticks, and I had all the intentions to do a video swatching these, and I never did. I kind of gauged y'all's interest, and no one seemed to be interested, and for good reason, because I tried these and they just feel like a dry matte lipstick. The colors I chose I think are actually really beautiful, but the formulation is just really not it for me. All right, I have them swatched right here in order 3, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and they are beautiful, beautiful neutral shades. I think they really go with the whole KKW theme, where it's like really muted and desaturated type of shades. They're pretty, but they are just, I don't know, they're a matte lip color. I don't really wear mattes like that. I think that these would be really great to use as like a center of the lip type of thing. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and declutter a couple. I just put 7 on my lips just to be sure that I was remembering this formula correctly, and it just doesn't really do my lips any favors, honestly. So even 7 here looks a little bit darker than it does on my lips. On my lips, this looks more like a apricot shade, which is not flattering to me. So I'm actually going to be decluttering 5 and 7. So here is 5, here is 7, and I'm gonna keep 3, 6, and 8 because I feel like these have potential to be really good like center of the lipsticks with like a gloss or a balm on top of it. And this one by itself actually is really pretty. It's kind of like a blotted color. I only have, I think, 2 of these Lisa Eldridge lipsticks. I love them. I bought these when she first released these velvet lipsticks. I think they are absolutely gorgeous. This one is in the shade Velvet Affair, and then the other one that I have is Velvet Muse. I actually believe that I might have Cinnabar somewhere. Clearly this has some pretty good use on it, so I'm keeping both of these. I love these. I feel like they're so luxe, and there's something about this that feels very collector to me. My Westman Atelier Squeaky Clean Lip Balm, I'm gonna keep that one. I've talked about this one. It's one of my absolute favorite lip products these days. And I'm also keeping my one YSL Candy Glaze. This is my number 4 Nude Pleasure. I love that one so, so much. These are really fun lipsticks. I got these from the brand Queen Musia, and I have the shades Ada and the shade Becky Sharp. Now, look how fun. The packaging on this is like the best, truly. This is the shade Becky Sharp. Shall we swatch her? So here's the shade Becky Sharp, and here's Ada. I'm going to declutter Becky Sharp, and I'm gonna keep Ada because it's a really pretty muted orangey red tone. I only have 2 of these e.l.f. O-Face satin lipsticks. I decluttered the rest of them last time around. This is in the shade No Doubt, which I think is a beautiful like center of the lip color. This is gonna be something that you can use after using a really deep lip liner and then emphasizing the center of your lips with this one. It's a really good formulation, nice and creamy and hydrating. And then this is in the shade Shameless. I think that this is a fun like berry tone as well, so I'm gonna keep these 2 lipsticks. This I received during a Creators and Friends trip during our favorite things game. This is from the Lip Bar, and this is in the shade Boss Lady. I think this is a beautiful liquid lipstick, and I didn't really get a chance to try this fully yet, so I'm going to keep this so I can play around with it some more. I missed this. This is my Abib Protective Lip Balm. It has an SPF of 15. Again, I got this from like an Asian beauty store, and it's just your standard lip balm, but it does have SPF. It's not going to be my favorite formula. However, I do appreciate that it has an SPF, and I don't have a lot of lip products that have SPF, so I'm going to keep this whenever I like go out and I'm out in the sun for a long time, you know. It's just nice to have on hand here. I actually have 3 of these Refi lip blurs. Again, this is something that I talked about in a recent lip video that I did. I love these. They definitely give you that super blurred lip look, and you do not get a ton of like hard pigment from this. Rather, you get that like just blurry, soft look, and it never gets too intense. These are absolutely beautiful, so underrated. I have the shades Orchid, Cinnamon, and Wine, and I'm keeping those. I'm gonna keep these Revlon Super Lustrous lipsticks. Have you guys heard they re-released these? And I did pick up, I think, 2 of the shades, and I plan on comparing them to this old formulation. So I'm going to keep these, and I'm gonna try to pick up all of the coexisting shades and see if they're a match to the old shades. And I misspoke. I actually have 4 of those Elf Satin lipsticks. So I kept the shade Effortless and a Standing Ovation, and these I really like as well. So I'm gonna hold on to that. I also have this Revlon lipstick. It is super old, and I'm pretty sure that I kept this for memories as well, because this was like my go-to lipstick back in the day. I loved this so much. But let's be honest, you probably don't want to collect old lipsticks, and I'm pretty sure they sell this still, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one. We have 2 of the Give Beauty lipsticks. I have these in Stomp Box and Lovable Me. I think these are 2 different, are these 2 different colors or finishes? It might be. So here is the shade Stomp Box, and here is the shade Lovable Me. This one, it looks more like nudie pink here on the paper. On me, this looks more like a purpley mauve, which I'm not really a fan of, so I'm going to declutter that one, and I'm gonna keep this one. I have 2 of these Lawless lipsticks, except I'm pretty sure that I have more of these. Maybe I only kept these 2, but these are in the shades Cookie and Fawn. They're more pinky brown and nude shades, if I remember. Yeah, so there is Cookie, and this one is going to be more of a nudie color, again, for like the center of the lips. These were definitely my favorite of the collection, so I'm going to keep those 2. I love Juvia's Place lipsticks. If you guys haven't tried them, they are so good. This used to be my go-to. The shade in Me, actually the shade in Libra was my absolute go-to, and then this was a runner-up. That's the shade Me, and then I have the shade Toffee, which is this beautiful, rich, kind of cool tone brown. So I'm going to keep both of those. So I have these 5 Hourglass lipsticks, and I believe these are different finishes based on the packaging of them. So these are more satin, and then these are going to be more of the matte lips. So I have them all swatched right there at the bottom, and then I'll read it off to you guys. So the first one is going to be Shore, second is Tropic, third Sahara, 4th Sparrow, and then the 5th one is Zinnia. And out of these, I'm going to keep Shore, and I'm going to keep Sparrow. Everything else I think can go ahead and go. I was a little on the fence about the shade Sahara, which is that 3rd one right there, but honestly, I don't foresee myself really wanting to reach for this color, and I haven't, so I'm just gonna keep those 2 more neutral shades right there. I have one lone L'Oreal lipstick in the shade Brazil Nut. This one I kept because it is such a beautiful brown tone, and despite this L'Oreal lipstick and these formulas just smelling like, I don't know, sweet garbage, if I'm being honest, even though it has such a strong scent, you cannot deny that this is an incredibly beautiful brown leaning red tone. It almost has a little bit of like orange in there, but on the lips, ooh, it is beautiful. So I'm keeping that one. And I also have this Oma Beauty lipstick. I had it for the mems, honestly. This is the shade Divine. This sold out for so long, and we probably all know like that whole drama that's been going on with Oma Beauty. I have not been crazy about the non-transparency, if I'm being quite honest with you guys. And it just, I never reached for this anyways. It's a beautiful sheer brown tone. Don't get me wrong, this is like still so gorgeous, but it just kind of sits in my collection, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter it. I skipped my Merit ones, by the way, because these are gonna be really hard for me to get rid of. These are just so gorgeous, and to be honest, I know that some of these are here strictly for the aesthetic. Like, I already know that. I have 3 of the Makeup by Mario lipsticks. These are, I believe, the matte ones. Are they? Ultra Suede lipsticks. So these were from the first collection. I have Annie, Alicia, and Kiana. That is Annie. Alicia, yeah, Alicia is a bright one. I like to keep like some staple reds in my collection just so I have them. And then there's Kiana. I am gonna keep these. I really like when reds are this matte look, so I'm gonna keep all of those. 2 Mango People sticks, the multi-sticks. I have this in Fudge and Jalebi. These are beautiful. I mean, they're so rich and pigmented, you guys. They're a little bit on the dry side, but I do like that this is a multi-stick. And for this time of year, I think they're perfect shades. Look at that fudge color. Is that not so beautiful? These give me the most interesting looks on the lips, but these do smell kind of off. They've always smelled a little funny to me, like just straight up crayon. So I'm not crazy about the way it smells, but they still seem to perform well. And I think these are less than a year old. I was talking all about how I only have 1 L'Oreal lipstick, but I suppose I was wrong because I also have this. This is the He Thinks He's Macho, and this is part of their matte collection. And again, this is going to be such a beautiful matte brown. L'Oreal knows their browns, you guys. Like, they truly do. Same L'Oreal signature scent, but such a good color. Such a good color. So we're keeping that. Okay, 4 of the Huda Beauty lipsticks. Do they still sell these, you guys? I think that they do. These were the only ones that I kept. I believe I did full collection swatches of these as well, and they came out with 2 separate collections, I think it was. So I have Sweet Cheeks, Moneymaker, Boss Chick, and Hustler. So I know that Moneymaker was definitely and is definitely the one that I've reached for the most out of the collection that I have. I swatched all 4 here, very messy, I might add, but these are the shades Moneymaker, Boss Chick, Hustler, and Sweet Cheeks. And I just swatched them on my lips. And to be honest with you guys, they all seem very, very similar other than the shade Boss Chick, which is this one, which is more of a brown. But these 3, they're super similar. But I will say that Sweet Cheeks does have more pink in it. And these 2, I kind of like using as like center lipsticks. I do really like the formulation of these. They are more of that satiny, slippery lipstick. So not a long wear time. And they definitely can get a little bit messy. But I do appreciate how hydrating these are on the lips. So with all of that being said, I'm going to keep these 3 and I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one, which is Sweet Cheeks. These are the Kulfi lipsticks. I'm not going to get rid of these either. I got these late last year and they are the most incredible shades for anyone that has any sort of melanin in their skin. They're the perfect nude shades for us medium tan girls. Like, they are so good, so good. Especially the shade Polka Dots and Cotty Kiss. They're like my absolute favorites. They look incredible. Like, seriously, I cannot say enough good things about these. So I'm keeping all of those, but I think that I might actually declutter this one. This one is the shade First Sorry, and it's beautiful. However, out of the whole collection, this is the one I get the least use out of. And something about this berry just doesn't really, I don't know, it doesn't really mesh with my skin tone as well as I want it to. So I'm going to declutter this one, but I'm going to keep the other shades that I own. Also, ones that I am keeping, these Fenty Slip Shines. I talk about these nonstop. They're this glossy lipstick finish that I can't get enough of. You can see the green dots right there from when I worked at Ulta. And then the gloss sticks I am keeping. I love these. Again, I did a video swatching these and talking about them and reviewing them. Incredible. Some of my most used lipsticks these days. They pair so well with lip liners and they're super easy to reapply on the lips as well. These are fairly new. I think that I got these this year actually from Charlotte Tilbury. They came out with a red collection and then they came out with a pink collection. I only kept one from the pink collection, which is Rose to Fame. This is a beautiful shade, but it's definitely going to be more of that mauve tone. I don't know how I feel about that. And then I have these 3 shades, which is Fame Flame, Cinematic, and Mark of a Kiss. If you'd like to see swatches of these, go check out that video. My MAC lipsticks, I believe these are all newer ones. Oh my gosh, look. I have the shade Heroin. I take that back. These are not all new. This is definitely a collector type of thing in me. I was probably like, I used to love this shade. But again, I'm kind of in that mindset where they still sell this if I really wanted it, you know, but I have the memories from it. So this is just gonna get decluttered. It is a lipstick, so I do foresee this getting moldy if I kept it in my memory box. So I'm gonna get rid of that one. And then as far as these go, these are newer, except for Hug Me. So these are the new formulation of the MAC lipsticks. I talked about these in a video this year, and I do really like these. These are Taupe and Velvet Teddy. They're like the best MAC lip shades. And I also have the shade Hug Me, which somebody mentioned a lip combo with this shade here, and I was like, wait, I know I have that lipstick, I need to try it, so I'm going to keep this, try that out. These are Armani lipsticks. They sent these to me in PR, and there's something about getting Armani PR that I was like, oh my gosh, like these are gorgeous. But I don't need all of them, so let me swatch them real quick. Okay, so these are swatched right here, all 4 of them, and they're the shades 111, 112, 116, and 117. Again, here, they look very, very similar, as you can see right there. And on the lips, 111 and 117 actually look like variations of each other, if I'm being honest. I think I can go ahead and declutter 116 because that's like that purpley mauve shade that I just don't think is very flattering on me. And I'm debating on 112 because 112 does definitely have a little bit of warmth to it. Here's 112, and I honestly feel like 112 can be really pretty with a lip liner if I'm going for more of like a warm toned look. So I'm gonna keep this for now. I'm not completely sold on it, but I am gonna keep it, and then I'm gonna keep these 2 as well. Okay, I have a bunch of these Kosas lipsticks. These were, what are these called? I don't even know anymore what these are, but I loved these so much. I had a video talking all about these, swatching the collection as well. I really like all of these, but I think I can get rid of, and I know this just by looking at it, I think I'll go ahead and get rid of Tropic Bliss and Hot Beach, and the other 3 I am going to keep. I have the shades Sunset Simmer, Heat Wave, which is my most used, and then 100 Degrees. Actually, 100 Degrees is my most used, sorry. I have a couple NARS lipsticks back here. I did like wear tests on these. I have the shade No Angel and Voyeur. This was like a glowy lip shine, and I was obsessed with this. I don't remember why I stopped obsessing over this, but just looking at it, I'm like, wait, I want to wear this again. It's like a sheer shiny lipstick. This one on No Angel, sorry, is such an interesting, fun shade. It's like a blurred matte shade, and it definitely has a lot of warmth to it. It looks so good on the lips, so I'm keeping that. Clinique Honey, of course, keeping her. Stop listening to me, guys, when I say I don't have any L'Oreal lipsticks. I think this is my last L'Oreal Bullet lipstick. I know I have liquid lipsticks, but this is the shade La Nude Defiant. This was my favorite from this collection. Again, L'Oreal was a big one that I swatched full collections for. So a lot of the colors I didn't like, I would either pass along or I returned a couple of them. And this one I definitely really enjoyed. It's a beautiful matte formulation that is non-drying on the lips. This Huda Beauty Faux Filler Gloss, again, a whole video on this collection. I was not a fan of these glosses, but I really liked the clear one. I felt like all the issues with the ones with pigment, I didn't have issue with this one. So I like this. I only have a handful of clear glosses, including this one and the Essence Shine 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 lip gloss. So I'm keeping both of those. My Persona e-balms, I love these e-balms. They're so good. These were kind of like my intro to glossy balms. You see how like destroyed this one is? I used this nonstop. It looks like I took a bite out of that. You see that? That looks so wild. I love this. I don't care. It still works, and These are great, that one, and I have the shade Manifest, which is this really fun red shade. I'm most definitely keeping these Bare Minerals lip balms. These tinted lip balms did not get the hype they deserve. Oh my goodness, these are incredible. Incredible. So they're that like sheer shiny lip finish. Let me swatch a couple for you guys so you can kind of see the finish of it. I'm going to do it on the back of my hand so you can see that. But this is in the shade Friendship, which is my favorite one. And it's just that glossy balm formula that builds up as you apply it. And these actually feel like hydrating balms. They look so beautiful on the lips. And there's a purple color. I don't have it here. I guess it's somewhere in one of my purses. But that purple color makes the most beautiful kind of natural stain berry tone on the lips. Oh, they're so good. And they're so comfortable too. So I'm going to keep those. These are my favorite NYX Butter Gloss shades. They're all like the neutral shades. You guys can pause it if you want to see the color names on it. But these are the best. They're so good. You cannot beat these for the price. They have great pigmentation and I love them. So I'm keeping all of these. I only have one of the Makeup by Mario lip serums. This is in the shade Bronze Glow. That one I'm going to be keeping. I also have this Hard Candy Glossy Balm in the shade The One. This is very similar to the Persona Cosmetics E-Balm. So I'm keeping that. And I have a bunch of these Lawless lip balms, I think. All right, here are the swatches of the ones that I own. So here's Baby Doll, Posy, Whisper, Cupid, Amaretto, and then Cherry Vanilla. Cherry Vanilla is going to be the sheerest of the bunch, and it's really beautiful, just like your standard lip balm, you know. Amaretto is definitely my favorite one, and then we have these right here. I never use Baby Doll, so I'm gonna get rid of that one. I'm on the fence about Posy and Whisper. Whisper is a really nice one for the center of the lips, but it does seem a little bit grayer now that I'm looking at it, so I may go ahead and declutter Whisper here. And I also think I can go ahead and declutter Cupid. So Baby Doll, Whisper, and Cupid are gonna go. Oh, here is the Bare Minerals Berry one. This is in the shade Devotion. It's so good. Here, look at it. It's like this sheer berry tone, and on the lips, it kind of gives you this like stain look that looks super natural and it's so hydrating. I have these Glossier lip colors. So these in the pink tube are going to be the Ultra Lips. And then I have this Generation G lipstick in the shade Cake. These are my favorite ones from the Ultra Lips. They're the only ones that I kept. I believe I did a full collection swatch video on these, and these are the only ones. And I just picked up the shade Pony very recently. I love all of these. And then the Glossier Generation G. Sometimes I like this, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I feel like it gives me the perfect amount of coverage, and then sometimes I feel like it is giving nothing. Right here, it looks beautiful. I go hot and cold on this one, so I'm gonna keep that one. And then another recent pickup for me was this Phytosurgence Calm Conditions Lip Balm in the shade Brave Break. Phytosurgence, go look at their Instagram. They talk all about the way that they formulated these lip balms, but they are some of the most actually hydrating lip balms out there, and they do not deposit a ton of pigmentation, and they purposely do this because they want to allow you to be able to like layer this onto the lips, so you prioritize hydration over like the actual pigmentation. I like to think that the pigmentation is just a plus when it comes to these lip balms, and this is such a good one. It feels so good on the lips. I have this Lottie Plumped AF lip gloss. Yeah, it's pretty, but I'm not really using a lot of plumpers these days, you know? There's something about them. And this one, do you see? It's like thick and goopy and just a lot of product here. So that's gonna go to someone that likes plumper. I have a couple of Buxom lip glosses. This one I bought because my friend Elle talks about it all the time. This is the shade Moscow Mule, and I had to have it because it looks incredible on her. And then I have the shade Hot Toddy, which is going to be more of this warm pink. These are great. I don't care what anyone says. These Buxom lip glosses are so good. They are no fail for me. This Charlotte Tilbury lip plumper is insane. Like, it kind of hurts, but I don't want to get rid of it. It was expensive, and I like to use this still once in a while when I feel like I want plumper. And honestly, it's also a really good frame of reference too. So I'm gonna keep this. This Juvia's Place lip gloss has taken me places, you guys. This is in the shade Bronzed Rose. It was my most used lip gloss at one point. It still smells pretty good. I think it's still okay. It's the most perfect pinky nude shade that you could wear if you're the same complexion as me. And I have two of the Patrick Ta lip products. Silky Lip Cream in the shade She's Confident. And then I have this Major Volume Plumping Gloss, of course, in the shade Obviously. Obviously I would have that, right? The lip cream from Patrick Ta I can do without. It's this like moussey texture that it's not my thing. It's not my thing these days. And then this plumping gloss, and obviously this has potential. That's pretty too. What the heck? Let me put it on. Okay, take it back. This lip gloss looks gorgeous on the lips, and it's like the minty plumper. So I'm gonna keep that one, but I am gonna go ahead and declutter this lip cream. These NYX Duck Plumps, again, whole video. I did the entire collection. I don't know what I was thinking because these hurt like a mother if you don't like lip plumper. If you like lip plumper, these are great. I'm gonna declutter these, but I am gonna keep just one for reference, and that's the only reason. So I can use it as reference to compare it to other products. So which one do I wanna keep? I'm gonna keep this shade in Brown of Applause. This is one that I really tried to wear, and I attempted to like actually make lip looks with this. So I'm gonna keep that one. I'm gonna declutter these. These Kaja gloss shots are so good. Again, Kaja underrated. Let me get rid of this pink, or this like light color. This is in the shade Milk Tea, and then also this one in the shade Honey Drizzle. And I'm gonna keep the clear and then keeping Pink Drink. So keeping those two, getting rid of these two. All of my Tower 28 ones, these are staying. These are some of my absolute favorite lip glosses. They're ultra pigmented. They feel silky and slippery on the lips, which I actually love. And they're so easy to reach for. So yes, I'm keeping all of those. Also, I'm keeping all of these Maybelline lip glosses. These are the ones that I had kept whenever I tried these on. I used to do tons of Maybelline collection video swatches, and these are definitely the colors that I like. I think my most favorite collection that they came out with the lifter glosses was last year's summer collection, which was like the candy collection. So good. These colors, oh my gosh, they're incredible. I have a TikTok. I think I might even have a short with these. And then these lifter plumping glosses, again, just keeping these for reference because not a big fan of actually wearing these. My Charlotte Tilbury Collagen Bath lip gloss in the shade Pillow Talk Deep, a beautiful brown lip gloss that I truly don't use as much as I should. So I'm keeping this so I do use it. This Flower Beauty Gloss Crush lip serum is so good. This is in the shade Bronze Crush. It reminds me of the Juvia's Place one. These are incredible. I have 3 Pat McGrath lip glosses or lip creams. What are these? I am going to keep these, as well as this Buxom Plump. Actually, no, I'm gonna get rid of the Buxom Plump Shot. I liked this because I felt like it actually plumped my lips, but now I use the Dr. Dennis Gross one, which I think works incredibly well. So that took the place of this one. So I'm gonna declutter that. Okay, we're getting into a territory where I'm probably gonna keep everything. I won't lie to you guys. These Morphe glosses, these seem like they were trying to dupe the Tower 28 ones. I did a whole video talking about that. I do like these, but I don't think I need all of them. So they have 2 different collections. There's the drenched one, which is the more opaque version, and then they had the glazed, which is the more sheer version. I'm going to get rid of this shade right here, Wet Peach, because I never wear that. And I think I'm gonna get rid of Mauve Splash. Actually, you guys, do you see this? These look like they could be quite similar dupes. So this is Tower 28's Sesame, and then this is the Morphe one in the shade Mauve Splash. They look so similar. Not completely. This one definitely looks a little bit more purple, while that one has a little bit more deep pink in it. And then we have this Drip Glass Glaze in the shade Shatterproof Mauve right here. These all look very like variations of each other, and because I'm obsessed with Sesame right now, I think I might actually keep these. I will go ahead and declutter these ColourPop Ultra Glossy lips. I never reach for these. They're just kind of like in the back of the drawer now. Again, I'm not crazy about these Milk lip glosses. I love the lip oils, but I'm not crazy about these lip glosses. I'm going to declutter Quest, and I'm gonna keep this one as reference. This one's in the shade Trek. All of my Lawless glosses, I'm keeping these because the formulation is just unbeatable. These are plumping products that I actually enjoy. My Say Glossy Bounces, I have the full collection because I swatched all of them. I'm keeping that. I have these Rem glosses. I don't know how to feel about these yet. I need to use them more, so I'm gonna keep them. These Clinique lip glosses are actually so beautiful. I actually prefer the lip gloss version of Black Honey over the lipstick version of it. Call me crazy. I think it's so much better. And this is just a beautiful, beautiful lip gloss color. I love these from Rare Beauty. This one had me in a chokehold for so long. They're incredible. They legit just are like melted down lip balms. Ami Cole's lip treatment oil, keeping that. They actually just sent me a couple other shades too, which I was so excited about. I wore one already today. I got the package today. Oh, so good. One Dior lip gloss in the shade Rosewood, I think this one is. It's number 18, so I'm going to keep that, as well as my Dior lip oils. I'm keeping those. I mean, honestly, you guys, everything else we're keeping. Let me just list it off for you guys. I have another Lawless gloss right on top right there. Elf lip oil. These are good. They're not my favorite, but again, just for reference to have them. And then I have a random Naturium lip balm there. These hard candy lip oils I actually very much enjoy. They're very thin, but there's something about it that just make me happy. I do have some more of the Elf lip oils. Do you see that? It's separating pretty badly in there. That looks kind of nasty. Is that still good? Just mix her around. That seemed kind of icky, didn't it? It smells fine. I don't know how I feel about that. This one is also separated. You see that? We're keeping it for now. I'm gonna reassess this. My beloved Haus Labs lip oils, the best orange lip oil I have ever used. It looks so natural on the lips, you guys. Trust me, it's incredible. These Sigma lip oils, I'm still giving them a try. I love the way they look, but I will say one time I went and got coffee with my best friend, and afterwards we left and I had the white crusty lips, and I was wearing one of these and I was appalled. So honestly, I haven't worn them since then, so I need to give these another try and see if I actually like them, because I like the feeling of them. I like the texture, but that just freaked me out a little. The Haus Labs lip glazes right here, keeping those. Summer Fridays lip oils, keeping those. Milani Fruit Fetish lip oils. Again, I don't like the scents of these, but I'm keeping them solely as reference. And then down this line, all of these are the In Beauty Project lip oils, which I am definitely keeping. And then in this corner here, you guys can't see it, but in the corner, I do have all of my Fenty lip glosses. I was gonna say I'm gonna keep all of them, but actually these cream ones have gotta go, because I bought these when they first came out. I did full on swatch collection video on this. I know that these are bad. I'm pretty sure these are like 3-4 years old at this point. So I'm gonna get rid of the cream ones. Honey Waffles was definitely my favorite, if you guys were curious, but all of the other shades are good and I'm gonna keep them. Fenty lip oils, keeping that. This Give Dewy Plump Collagen Lip Gel, I haven't touched it in a while. As you can see, it is separating here, but this is actually really good. I like that a lot. I need to figure out if it's still good. I hate going through the lip liners, but there's some definite lip liners that I can get rid of, so I'm gonna go through this on my own time, and I'm sure this is gonna get cut in half. I have some Sigma lip masks. I actually have a lot of Sigma lip masks. The NYX fat oils, I like these. These are good. And then I have this contour. Actually, this is empty because this is in my everyday. It's like a contour lip liner stick. Ooh, the Plush Pudding in Cherry Barbados. Is that what this one is? Barbados Cherry. These are really good. They can be really thick on the lips, but once in a while I do crave something as thick as this, so I like keeping these on hand. I have the vanilla one at my bedside table right now. I have this Unearthly Cosmetics lip pencil, and the reason why it's in here is because it's too long to sit upright. I don't know how I feel about this. I've held on to it because I'm like, I'll figure it out. I haven't figured it out. So I think this needs to go. That is this first drawer, you guys. These are all of the lippies that we're gonna get rid of. I know it doesn't look like a lot, but coming from a lip addicted person, this is pretty good, I will say. I'm impressed by that. Okay, we'll go ahead and close that up. And then we're gonna move on to this one, which is going to be more of the glossy balms, lip stains, liquid lipsticks, things of that nature, and kind of just a hodgepodge of a bunch of things. So let me fix the camera and then we'll get started on this. Okay, here we go. This is the second drawer. Hopefully I can kind of like fly through this. I don't have much faith in myself, okay? These are newer. These came out from Fantasy Cosmetica with Makeup Just for Fun, who is Amanda. She's so beautiful and kind, and she came out with this collection. I'm gonna keep these because I just love them. These Fui pudding pots I got whenever I was in Japan. I talked about these in my Japan haul, and I'm gonna keep all of these. I searched for these. I really tried for these. This is the Clinique lip oil. I actually really enjoy this. So the way I would rank the Clinique Black Honey line is the lip gloss, the lip oil, and then the lipstick. A lot of these are new, you guys, because I ran out of space on this top one and I just kind of like stuffed things in here. So we're definitely keeping a lot, like these Finding Ferdinand lip balms. They're so good. I love the colors of these. They look so natural on the lips. I would say that this one, like this Finding Ferdinand lip balm, these are so natural and hydrating on the lips. I would say a similar formulation definitely to the Phytosurgeons, except these have slightly more pigment and more slip. Underrated in my opinion, these Freck Makeout Club lip blurs. These are in the shade Shy, Haughty, and Baddie. I'm gonna keep those. My favorite Peri Para lip glosses, I talk about these all the time, also in my most recent video, and I'm keeping my Romand and this Etude glossy tint. I have a bunch of the Fui lip glosses in this corner right here, which again, I am going to keep these because I recently purchased these. More Asian Beauty that I got while in Japan, just a mixture of lip glosses, tints, and lip balms. Those are staying. This can actually go. This Rare Beauty lipstick, I kept this one from Mems, and oh, they sent this actually. No. I'm gonna keep this red. This came in a PR package, and I thought this was like a really old one, so I'm gonna keep that. These What's Up Beauty lipsticks, first of all, this color is everything. This is the most beautiful blue I've ever set my eyes on. And the colors of these, the intricacies of these, let me just show you guys one of them, one of the bullets, and you will die. I took pictures of this and posted it. Just look at that. Incredible. No one does it like indie brands, I swear, with the details. So good. I could not get rid of these even if I wanted to. These Tower 28 juice bombs, I can actually get rid of these. I think I'm okay with that. I'm gonna declutter these two. And where's the shade that I really like? Oh, I like the shade Shake, and I think there's another one that's more nude that I prefer. Oh, maybe it's this one. Is it this one? Oh yeah, it's this one. I don't even know. So I'm gonna keep this, and no, I'm gonna keep that. I'm just going to declutter this one. I actually really enjoy these IT Cosmetics Confidence and a Serum Gloss. These are good, and these are a recent addition to my collection. These I really liked from ColourPop, but they're very old. I got these when these first launched. These are the ColourPop Just a Tints. I don't know if they still sell these, but this color in particular, as you can see, green dot, this is Gimme S'more, and it was my go-to, like, easy color. I would definitely repurchase this if they still sell it, but I'm going to declutter these. I kept telling myself that I would give these a go. I never really did. So there's something about them, like the shape of them, it really spoke to me. but apparently not enough because I never use them. So I'm going to declutter those. I have the 3 original Revie Beauty lipsticks. I'm going to keep that. These L'Oreal Les Resistance liquid lipsticks. I did a whole video swatching these. For now, I'm going to keep these. I feel like I can declutter these down, but for now, I will hold on to them. As well as these CoverGirl Outlast lip stains. I got these a while ago. And I feel like I need to use this more. I got 2 of the M Cosmetics like glossy stain things, so I'm gonna keep those. I have some Sephora High Shine lipsticks, like Glossy Bomb lipsticks. These are basically dupes for the Fenty Slip Shines. I have another MAC shade. I kept this one in the box because I was actually gonna return this and I never did. Not because it's not a good shade, but because at the time I felt like I had a lot of them, but I'm just gonna keep it. Ooh, this is actually my favorite e.l.f. plumping gloss. This is in the shade Mauve. Is it just Mauve? Oh no, this is Praline. I'm sorry. I think this is very old, or is this a repurchase? See, I don't even know, but beautiful shade. I'm gonna keep that. My Romand Glassing Balm. These Maybelline Ultimates, these are the only 2 that I've kept since doing that swatch video. This is in the shade Nude Taupe and More Caramel. Such beautiful shades and actually really good mattes, not super drying. Unearthly lip gloss. It's like this crazy color. I think I want to keep this just because I don't have anything else like this in my collection, and I feel like I could actually get use out of that one. I do have 2 of the NARS lip pencils, and again, I bought these for reviews, so I'm gonna keep these for reference. I do have some Kaja Love Blur lip balms, and I think that these I have not given that much of a chance yet. They remind me of the Refi ones, but a little bit more silicone feeling, a little bit more velvety and less pigmentation, or maybe more pigmentation, I don't know. I need to go through these, but for now, are you guys surprised? For now, I'm gonna keep them. It might be easier actually and a better use of all of our time if I just tell you guys the things that I am getting rid of in this drawer. So I'm gonna get rid of all of these Rose Inc liquid lipsticks. They're quite old, and again, I don't know what's happening to the brand. I think that they may be shutting down, or I don't know. I did a whole video on these though, so but either way, I'm gonna get rid of those. These Rare Beauty lip oils, again, I have a full video talking about these. I'm only going to keep the shades Honesty, Delight, and Serenity, and the rest of them I'm gonna go ahead and declutter. So these are the Milani Color Fetish Hydrating Lip Stains. I can definitely get rid of some of these. I have a whole video, again, I need to reference back that video to actually see how all of these looked. I think that I want to get rid of this shade, Mauve Mentality, and this pink in Pink About It. These, just looking at the caps, I feel like these are the ones that I wasn't as crazy about. And the shade Rose Rising, maybe? I don't know. But these for sure I'm going to declutter, and these I'm going to look back at my review to see what I thought about them. Okay, that's all I want to declutter from this one. It's terrible. I know. Let me just tell you what's in here though. So I have some Anastasia lipsticks here. These are fairly new. They sent those over to me. I have also some Anastasia lip glosses here. I have the Kaleidos like glossy stains. I know I can probably declutter a couple of these, but these are so good. I have a couple of random things like Hard Candy, Ilia, and this Finding Ferdinand lip gloss. Down here I have the Makeup by Mario lip serums. I have a couple of the Lottie Cheeky Kiss like click balm things, as well as some of the e.l.f. glossy balms. I have those there. I think I will declutter these ColourPop Ultra Mattes and Ultra Blotted. I don't reach for those. I have a bunch of the Sachu lip stains, as well as Wonder Skins, and then a random Sephora matte lip blush, some Live Tinted, some Charlotte Tilbury. I have some of the Fenty Velvet Mattes, a bunch of the Florasis lip stains, the glossy and matte versions, and then back there I have some Maybelline and some Huda Beauty, a little bit of NYX as well, and that's about it. So that's this whole section. And then I have some just collector's item type of things here. So this one is pretty much staying the same. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I'm not gonna be decluttering a lot of them because they're ones that I still pretty regularly use and try to use and test out. Okay, that was all of that. I'm gonna show you guys what this looks like once I put everything back. Hi everybody, it's the next day. So I went ahead and reorganized everything. It probably looks exactly the same as it did when we first started, but I promise you guys this looks much cleaner, much better. And I decided to just reorganize it a little bit to give myself more of a chance to be able to use everything that's in here. I will show you guys some B-roll from my phone. I tried to do based on categories. So we have like lip oils over here, and then it turns into lip glosses, and then glossy lip balm lipsticks, and then back to lip balms. So that's kind of how this one is done. And I also have these lip liners. I went through all of the lip liners that I showed you guys last night, and this is what's left of them. I think we did pretty good. And I wanted to show you guys a couple that I found in that container that actually have mold. I don't know if you guys care. I mean, warning, it's pretty nasty, but I don't know. Sometimes I think it's interesting. I do think it's interesting. So this is the first one and the most jarring. I was like opening all my lip liners and swatching them. And when I opened this up, look at that. Ew. Ew. This is Copenhagen from NYX. It's a dark, dark purple. And that is not dark, dark purple. And then this one looks like it's kind of growing some mold right where the pencil meets the actual like crayon part of it. This one from Buxom, I didn't think that this was this old, but I guess it was because I believe I got this when I was working at Ulta. At first, like when you first see it, it doesn't look that bad, but then when I rolled it up, there's like little moldy spots on it. Do you guys see? So gross. Definitely check all of your lipsticks, your lip liners, all of your cream products to make sure that they haven't gone bad. And then this one, I couldn't really tell at first. You guys probably won't be able to tell on camera, but this one looks like it's starting to grow mold. Like if you look at it from certain angles, there's little tiny fuzzies starting to form here. This is definitely gonna go. I really loved this. This was from NYX also, and it's the shade Ever, but I've had this forever. Those, I thought that was interesting and really nasty, lesson learned. So that's what we have on that top drawer. And then let me show you guys our bottom one right here. Okay, and here is the bottom drawer. I did decide to remove all of those little PR collectible boxes, and I'm going to store them with all of like my makeup memory box things. But I figured this is like important real estate, and I'm just kind of using it up right now with excess stuff. So the way that I did this is most of these right here, as well as everything here, are my Asian Beauty lip products, and I like to like keep them separate because it's just easier in my head to see them. I also have this little Shein box. I kept this one in here because I actually really like this, and I think it's compact, and I still reach for these. These are not that old. And then I have some Anastasia here. All the things that I showed you guys last night, I kind of just rearranged it. I moved things and I put them side by side rather than going down the row. So for instance, all the Florist stuff is over there in rows of 3 and going back, and then the Fenty stuff is up here. You know, I kind of tried to keep it more organized. And while I was doing all of this, you guys, I was going in and re-swatching some stuff and putting stuff on my lips to make sure, and I did actually get rid of a couple more things that I thought I was going to keep. I did end up getting rid of more things, and I'll show you guys the B-roll of everything that we are getting rid of. Now I know in comparison to my collection, we are not getting rid of a lot at all. Trust me, I understand that. But like I said, lip products are the ones that really make me happy. They're the ones that I like to reference back to the most. And they're honestly the most useful in my collection when it comes to making videos and the such. But I think it's okay because I got rid of the things that I know that I'm just not touching anymore, and that makes me pretty happy. So, okay, we are done with the lip section. That was a doozy, but honestly, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Okay guys, here is our very last section, which is eyeshadows. So this contains most all of my eyeshadow palettes except for the ones that I keep on my vanity, the ones that I use pretty much every day. This is going to be the bulk of it. I'm gonna preface this and say I have a really hard time getting rid of eyeshadows. The collector in me honestly just wants to keep all of them. I won't lie to you guys. I may not even get rid of a handful, or you know, I may get rid of half. We will see, but I don't have really high hopes. My goal here is to get this more organized because obviously I just like have been throwing stuff on here. So let's start with the things that I threw on here while we were moving, which Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes palette. This is probably my favorite palette of the year, so we're keeping her. Also the Patrick Ta Major Dimensions 3 palette, sorry. This is my favorite, keeping this one. I love the neutrals on this palette. So buttery, so smooth. The Sigma Ambience eyeshadow palette. Something about Sigma eyeshadows is that they are so underrated. They're incredibly buttery, smooth, easy to blend. Anyone can use them, and they have really great color stories. I'm also going to be keeping the Sigma Cool Neutrals, which is probably my favorite palette from Sigma, honestly. It is beautiful. People have argued that there are warm tones, which I get, but that works in my favor, honestly, because I'm not like all 100% cool tone girl, you know, like you guys know, I love a good warm toned eye look. So this one has been incredible for me, especially this little quad right here. Makes the most beautiful purple looks for brown eyes. So that's staying. All of my Clionadh Cosmetics Paleo, Oceana, and Archeo palettes, these came in a collection, and I won this during a game at our Creators and Friends in Palm Springs. I actually already owned Paleo though before that trip, so I gifted the other palette to a friend. I'm keeping these. These are incredible. Again, Clionadh Cosmetics, everything Clionadh Cosmetics when it comes to eyeshadows are insane, like out of this world, so unique to me. And I will say right now, I'm not getting rid of any of my Clionadh. This Urban Decay Space Cowboy limited edition palette, I talked about this very recently. I hate the packaging, but I do love this eyeshadow palette. It's actually so easy to use, and you can make a lot of really pretty looks out of this. Another Sigma palette, this one is the Little Mermaid palette, and it's so pretty. The colors on this, I used this in a video a couple months back, and you guys were going feral over this color. And same, because I love a brown based turquoise duochrome type of thing. Like that is what I live for. This is such a fun color story. Everything about this is just, it makes me happy. And the fact that it's Little Mermaid, I mean, so cute. This was from our other drawer. You guys remember the Pat McGrath one? I do have 2 of the Patrick Ta duos. I picked up We Need Better Lighting and Still at the Club. Still at the Club is probably the one that I reach for the most often. I will say that it's definitely darker than my usual day-to-day, but it's beautiful for like a more smoky look. And then this one, I felt like this duo was definitely what we all thought that these were going to be in terms of finish. And I like that it has a silver and a gold, and they're pretty true silvers and golds. So it can kind of go both ways. So I was recently sent these Jones Road eyeshadows, and I was raving, and I mean raving about them. These, first of all, huge pans. These are very, very buttery. I have the shade Patina, and so pretty, and they're just so pretty. So pretty. But not only that, these cream shadows, and you guys will see I'm a big fan of cream shadows. Oh my goodness, these are so good. They're like bouncy in texture and definitely kind of like that pillowy bouncy look. This color in bronze has been my go-to. It is incredible. It's not too warm. It kind of like leans a little bit more neutral. And then we have the shade Just a Sec, which is on the other side of things where it's a little bit cooler of a taupe, but it's not too cool. I don't know. These are great one and done eyeshadows, and they look incredible. They don't look heavy. They don't look metallic like you have a film on the eyes. It kind of just looks like a very soft shimmer. I received this also at the Creators and Friends Palm Springs trip. This one I got during our Favorite Things game. This is the Lancome Tint Idole in the shade number 1. It's a really pretty color. I want to use this in some eyeshadow looks. I've only used it a handful of times, but I actually feel like this would be a beautiful, more subtle sheen of a center eyelid look. I got these when they were doing their Black Friday sales. If you guys know me, you know I love lash links. They have the best DIY lash extensions. This one is in the chatty style, and then you can see here the different sizes that all of these are. Incredible. I wore some of these to a wedding and they're just the best. I much prefer these under lash extensions like the clusters over a strip lash any day. They're so much more comfortable. They wear really well and they're more customizable. Again, I have a couple of Cleona shadows here. Oh, where are the shadows? Just kidding. I think I put them all in here. So they gave us this palette. It's a magnetic palette, but I think I combined it. Did I combine it? So this is one, yeah, okay. So these are the shadows that we got during the Palm Springs trip. I bought these right here. Here's another Patrick Ta eyeshadow palette. This one is just the original Major Dimensions palette. Every time I open these, you guys, I kind of half expect mold. I'm not gonna lie. That has definitely haunted me. I'm gonna keep this. I still really like this and mine seems to be fine. My two Natasha Denona, I need a warm and I need a nude palette. I'm sure you guys have seen these all over the place, so I'm not gonna go on and on about these, but I like both of these. I need a nude a little bit more than I need a warm, surprisingly. These are easy. So my Pat McGrath Mothership palettes, I'm keeping these, of course. These are prized possessions for me. I'm also keeping this holiday palette. I think this one came out in 2022. It's the Mothership Mega Celestial Nirvana palette. Here is a Memory Box eyeshadow palette. This is the Desi and Katie eyeshadow collaboration with Dose of Colors. I'm gonna move that over. Also a Memory Box one, the Raw Beauty Christy and Pure collaboration. It's the double-sided one where it's the colorful side and then the neutral side. More memory ones. I don't feel comfortable using the Soft Glam from Anastasia anymore because mine is super old, but look how used this is, especially the shade Burnt Orange right there. Oh my gosh, the obsession with that color was so real. And with Sienna too, like these have pretty noticeable dents in them. The best. I still think this is one of the best Anastasia palettes. I don't think that this aged very well though. I would definitely repurchase that. I think I would. And then of course, Modern Renaissance. How could I not have this and keep it, you know? So Memory Box for both of those. Ooh, this has Burnt Orange in it too. I wonder if they sell that individually. And then the Dose of Colors Desi and Katie full eyeshadow palette. Incredible palette. I mean, this shade right here broke my brain. It was, oh, so good. I guess because it's easier, I'm just going to pull out all of the Memory Box ones because I kept them in here thinking I didn't really need the space. And at the time that we did the last declutter, I didn't, but now I do. So ColourPop, Raw Beauty Christy at Forest Sight. This one actually was so pretty. One of my first collab eyeshadow palettes is this Dream Street palette with ColourPop and Kathleen Lights. Oh my goodness. I think I did a video on this like years ago. Used to love Kathleen. I still love Kathleen. I think she's incredible. And this was such a good palette. The I Love Sada E and ColourPop Through My Eyes palette. This one, insane. So good. The quality, so good for the time. Like I loved this so much. Oh my gosh. Do you guys see this back here? The Tati Beauty Volume 1 eyeshadow palette. I wonder when they're going to release new products, new cosmetics, you know? Like I'm excited for that. I thought the concept of this was so well thought out. I thought the whole idea and the color story was just so good, and I still do. I still think this is such a good palette. I'm excited to see what they come out with. Again, these are more like for memories. I think that most of these do have the names on the back of them, but I don't really feel like I want to take it out. This one I know is from ColourPop. It's like the bull something. That color was the one that ignited my love for the brown teal duochromes. And then this is a hodgepodge of ColourPop and MAC eyeshadows, and I'm sure there are other things thrown in there. I'm pretty sure this is the last Memory Box eyeshadow palette, but this is Dose of Colors I Love Sada E again. It's just a 6-pan eyeshadow palette. Again, super beautiful. I just think that Karen is so good with her makeup artistry. She really knows her colors. Now we're really getting into it. Let's see, what do I want to get rid of? Let me just try to pull stuff out here that I feel like I can easily, or most easily, I should say, let go of. Oh, also, I got this huge magnetic eyeshadow palette holder. This is Adept Cosmetics magnet palette, but I got it on Amazon. It's two-sided. For some reason, I was thinking I would depot even more eyeshadows when I got this. This is way bigger than what I need, if I'm being honest. I think I can fill more things in here, but the problem with this is that it cannot sit up in my drawer. Like, it's too tall. It can't sit like this, so it always like has to lay flat, which is really annoying. But yeah, there's some eyeshadows in there, Dose of Colors. We have an M Cosmetics one and some random eyeshadows too. I would like to depot more eyeshadow palettes and put them in here, and hopefully I find some that I can do that with today. Okay, we have some eyelashes back here. So again, a couple of press-ons, some cluster lashes. I'm keeping all of these. I like to have them on hand whenever I want to do some looks with them. I actually do have more memory box items here. The Marc Jacobs, two of the Marc Jacobs eyeshadows. They're kind of like those pot pressed eyeshadows. I have Blitz Glitz and Topaz Flash. I keep hearing rumors that Marc Jacobs is coming back. You guys let me know if you've also heard the same rumors, but if they do, I really hope they bring these back, and I would love, love, love to compare the shades. I just thought that these were incredible, like incredible shades. So fun, especially for the time too. So again, memory box for these. And we also have this Dior Beauty, what is this? Fusion Mono eyeshadow. I think it's a cream, like powdery eyeshadow. It's one of those like bouncy baked eyeshadows. This is in the shade Meteor. So beautiful. Oh, I wish they came back out with this. MAC and ColourPop Loose Pigments. This fits so well in here. Like, look at that. It's so good. None of it moves. This is a Nude Sticks container. Again, kind of like a memory box type of item. And I wasn't lying to you guys. This blue-brown duo pigment, obsessed, obsessed. The Makeup by Mario Master Mattes, the neutrals. So I've only dipped into this a few times since I did that review video, and honestly, I think I need to give it some more tries. I think these would actually pair really, really well with a ton of shimmery cool tones that I have. So I need to make it a point to try to use this. If I don't use this more often come the next declutter series, then I am going to declutter this one. This is an empty palette. It's like another magnetic palette. This one is from Odin's Eye. I've got some more lashes here. I have the Unearthly Cosmetics lashes and Bright lashes from Angela Bright. I am going to keep these. They're kind of like half accent lash things, and I think they're really gorgeous. But I think I'm going to go ahead and declutter the Unearthly ones because, again, you guys saw I really love my cluster lashes, and these strip lashes just never look that natural on me. I don't have the heart to declutter my Danessa Myricks palettes just yet, even though I probably have never actually formed any looks to wear out with these. I got these during a holiday season, I think again in 2022, maybe 2021. This is the Lightwork Volume 3 palette. I was really, really excited to get my hands on this one, and now looking at it, it's nice, but I don't know. I think the magic might happen when it's actually on the eyes, you know? Like, I need to give it a try, really. And this one, the Lightwork Volume 4 palette, all of the different finishes on this, the colors, everything about this made me so excited. So I'm keeping these. I just recently got this one again from the Creators and Friends trip. This is the Nomad Air Travel palette. So beautiful. My nails get in the way. This is a neutrals palette. I think I can go ahead and declutter this one. I was talking about how I love these warm neutrals and how I wanted to use them more often, but I have not. I haven't even touched this, so this is gonna go. The Unearthly Cosmetics Spring Magic palette. This one I do want to keep. This we got during my first Creators and Friends trip in New Orleans. It's kind of sentimental to me already, you know, and these are such fun colors. I really feel like I could come up with something really beautiful with this. I just need to try it. Like these two colors, this green right here, this blossom shade. Oh, it's also pretty. The Escape Pod palette from Kaleidos. I feel like this is kind of a staple for Kaleidos. I love everything about this. I do love the packaging, even though it is a little bit bulky. I feel like this really covers these really bright, saturated, almost like neon colors for me. And I find myself actually surprisingly dipping into this once in a while when I really want to play with color, and it always gives me a really pretty look. More Pat McGrath Mothership palettes. I have 2 more. I found the boxes recently, so I need to put these in the boxes. My Moondust Space Rider palette that I got, I think last year. Such a good Urban Decay Moondust palette. It's pretty much all the staples that you would need. Another Nomad Cosmetics palette. This one is the Mount Fuji palette, and we got this during our Creators and Friends Palm Springs trip. And this one is kind of sentimental to me because I received this a month after I went to Japan with my husband. So I'm gonna keep this. It's beautiful. These are all the colors that are in there, and it's just a gorgeous palette. Another Danessa Myricks palette. This is the Groundworks palette, and honestly, I debated on this one for quite some time, and I finally bought it during a sale. And if I'm being honest with you guys, I have not dipped into this half as much as I should have and half as much as I thought I would. So this is definitely going to have to be something that I'm really trying to use because I really thought I could do something with this, and I still do. I still think I can. Natasha Denona's Glam Face palette. Oh, okay, just kidding. I thought this was the High Glam palette. I was like, I thought I decluttered that. This one, I did not declutter. I like this a lot. This would actually be such a good travel palette because you have that highlight, you have a cream blush, and then you have all of these beautiful eyeshadows right here. Look, I have another Cleona palette that I filled. This was the first one. So right here were all of the shades that they gifted us whenever we were in New Orleans for the Creators and Friends trip. And then these were all of the different colors that I purchased myself afterwards. I have a bunch of Fantasy Cosmetica palettes here that I think are just beautiful. Something about indie brands, you guys, they're gonna do their eyeshadows right. These, let me show you this one. They are so pigmented, so buttery, and the best thing about a lot of indie brands is the color stories. They're more adventurous with color stories, and it's just more motivating, I guess. This one right here, another beautiful duochrome, like, oh my gosh, I swatched these. They're incredible, and you can see this is not normally something that I would wear, but surprisingly, this is super wearable. If you can't tell, I am going to be keeping my Fantasy Cosmetica palettes. Oh, this is the Enchanted Autumn palette, the one that Makeup Just for Fun or Amanda did. I talked about the lip balms that came out with this collection. This is the eyeshadow palette that came out with it, and it is the perfect fall winter tones. Oh my gosh. The shade in Libra, it's insane. It's so good. I had more Fantasy Cosmetica palettes here. 2 Odin's Eye palettes I'm definitely keeping because these came out with their holiday collection last year. The Merry Christmas palette and the Christmas Eve palette. Let me show you guys these. Again, Odin's Eye is going to be an indie brand, so they're going to have incredible finishes, incredible color stories, and it's just everything about this. The attention to detail is so good. This one is definitely a little bit more on the cool side, but still so beautiful and buttery and pigmented. I was introduced to indie eyeshadow palettes this year, and they have completely blown my mind. Seriously, there's nothing that compares in terms of eyeshadows. This one, the Merry Christmas palette, oh my gosh, look how pretty. Definitely not as wearable to me as the Christmas Eve one, but still gorgeous. They come out with Christmas palettes every year. I didn't get this year's because I have these 2 and I was very happy with them. But yeah, I have these from Odin's Eye as well. When they came out with these singles, I lost my mind. There's a bunch of shimmers, and I also got some mattes that aren't in here. They're in another box because I no longer had room in this drawer here. So these are incredible. Like, look at that green. I haven't even touched that green. Another Sigma eyeshadow palette. This one is Cordorosa. Definitely more berry tones in this one, but you can make an entire eye look. You can make several entire eye looks with this. Really good palette to travel with. What's Up Beauty is going to be another indie brand, and they actually reached out to me a couple years ago to send me PR. I believe it was the Desert Monsoon palette that they sent me, and even then I was blown away by the pigmentation, the butteriness of the eyeshadow palettes, just everything. Okay, here's the thing, right? So it's hard for me to get rid of eyeshadow palettes because I never fully feel like I can like test them out and use them to the best of their ability because I don't wear eyeshadows that often. Ooh, and the Geodes palette they sent me very early on. It has that duochrome that I absolutely love. Oh, it's hard for me to get rid of eyeshadow palettes because they all have so much potential and I just don't want to get rid of them because they're so beautiful. And I'm honestly like, I'm gonna have FOMO. And palettes are not cheap. They're definitely very expensive. So I would hate to get rid of something and then be like, oh, I should have kept it. But here's something I will get rid of. The ColourPop Going Coconuts. So this one really reminds me of the Makeup by Mario, the neutrals shades, other than the shimmers. Every time I use this, it turns out a little cooler than I want it to be. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass this one along. I love these e.l.f. quads. I really do. For a moment there, I was only using these e.l.f. quads. They're such good quality, honestly. They definitely are more powdery. You're gonna get more fallout, but I don't know, you kind of pay for that, you know, and you kind of know what you're getting yourself into. This is Cream and Sugar, and then this one is Berry Bad. The berry one I was reaching for so much before. But here's the thing, I have so many other palettes that have very similar colors in them that I'm going to pass these along because if I really, really wanted a quad for some reason that had these color stories or this specific one, I can always go out and purchase them again. I have these two Asian Beauty eyeshadow palettes. The Romand one, this one is the Better Than palette, #1 Pompous Garden. And then I have the Street Brick Cleo palette. I don't want to get rid of these because I want to use these as reference. I definitely do not dip into these that often. To be honest with you guys, I'm not wowed by these as much as I wanted to be. And these color stories are just really, really pink. This LA Girl Desert Glow Envy eyeshadow palette is actually really good. I got this because, again, my friend Magdalene was wearing an eyeshadow look and she said she was using this and I was like, all right, girl, I'm gonna get it too. It's beautiful. These are actually quite buttery. Again, a lot of fallout, but if that doesn't bother you, these are really good and you get some fun colors here as well. So I think I will keep this on hand as reference for like a drugstore eyeshadow palette. Ooh, the ColourPop 1111 palette. This one is actually so beautiful to me. While Going Coconuts was very similar to this, there's something about this that is a little bit more wearable for me, especially like these shimmers. They make the cooler tones a lot more wearable for me to use. So I'm gonna keep that. And then the Limoncello one, I think there's a broken, oh, that used to be broken. I guess I pressed it. This is super, super pretty to me as well. I was lusting over this when it first came out because I worked at Ulta at the time and I wanted this so bad. But I'm gonna keep these two ColourPop palettes. Lawless, the one lavender palette. So I feel like the Kaleidos eyeshadow palettes are very similar, especially these here that I have from Kaleidos. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one. I have these smaller palettes from Kaleidos, and I think I have all of them. I have Astro Pink, Lunar Lavender, Sashimi City, I love that name, and then Electro Turquoise, and they're all basically themed for like what the outside is. So this one is like a blue, this is pink, this is purple. I don't know what this is, Astro Pink. I guess it's just pinks, right? Their packaging is so fun and cool to me. I can probably take these out of the package. Whoa, wait, what? That is so beautiful. I feel dumb for not even knowing that this is what it looked like. This looks incredibly wearable. This color as an eyeliner, whew, okay. This needs to go on my eyes immediately. I'm definitely going to play around with this one. This is the Astro Pink one. I got this while I was in Japan. It's the And Be palette and it's in the shade, it doesn't say, I don't remember. But I specifically got this after my color analysis because this brand was actually created by someone that is also an autumn. And all of these supposedly are supposed to be suited for those that have an autumn color palette. This, looking at it, just looking at the textures and stuff like that, really feel like the Surratt ones. Okay, I need to revisit this palette. Oh, I have this Rowan quad that I got last year in an advent calendar. It was either Cult Beauty or it was Space and K's advent calendar. I really want, this one is Eyes on Me, and it's more of like a warm coppery one. Beautiful. It has some creams and then a powder, which I think is actually so gorgeous. There's one that's a little bit more neutral that I really want, but these honestly are quite expensive. And I want to make sure that I really, really like this format and formulation before I invest in, you know, another eyeshadow palette, because clearly I need more. I have a bunch of Mob Beauty products here that I bought during Black Friday. I had them initially in here, but then I removed them because I didn't have enough to fill this up. And I was afraid that the open space would kind of dry out the creams that I had in here. So I ended up putting them all back in here, but I'm gonna keep all of the Mob Beauty that I bought. Look, my Bobbi Brown Camel. I thought that the one that was in that magnetic palette was Camel, but it's not, it's this one. This is super old though. Another couple of eyeshadows from What's Up Beauty, and these are actually duos, and these duos I think are so pretty. I actually asked them whenever they reached out to send me some more stuff. I was like, can I try those duos? They are incredible, and to have them in little duos where you can like travel like this, so convenient. This one is in Plumor, and this is in Latitude. Another thing that I got in Japan, this is the Declutter eyeshadow, and it's kind of like that bouncy cream shadow. Pretty much looks identical to that Dior Beauty one, right? It has a very beautiful bouncy creamy texture. It feels like a cream whenever you touch it, and just look at that color. Insane. So beautiful, and it's like a wash of color too. It's not going to ever be overpowering, and that's something with Asian beauty, is with a lot of their eyeshadows, they like to go more subtle, because I feel like a big spotlight feature for them when it comes to makeup are lips and sometimes cheeks, but when it comes to eyes, it's more toned down. Here's where I struggle. I have a lot of cream shadows that I love. Let me move them. I'm gonna move them towards the front so you guys can see them. So these are random eyeliners that I'm gonna get to later, but these are like my potted cream shadows and my eyeshadow sticks. I finally got my hands on this Armani eyeshadow, and this is in Cashew. I was hunting this down for months, you guys, and every time I was going to buy it, it sold out on Sephora and even on Armani's website. I was gonna buy it during Black Friday, and I had it in my cart for too long, and then it sold out. Anyways, I finally got my hands on it, and it's incredible. It's everything I wanted it to be. Adriana Nicole's eyeshadow. You guys, if you're on TikTok, you know about this one. I had to get it. This is in Ethereal. Beautiful shift on this. Again, kind of that brown, blue, purple shift. Okay, again, we're gonna go in with the things I'm for sure keeping, which are going to be my Coffee Cream eyeshadows. These are definite favorites. I have Auburn Aura and Sitara Sparkle here, and then my other ones are in my everyday makeup. My Moon Dust eyeshadows, I have Lithium, Solstice, and Space Cowboy. All of my Kaja eyeshadow trios, you guys, I'm not kidding when I say I love Kaja. Someone was saying in my comments in one of my videos, because I didn't mention Kaja, I didn't really like them, and because I had done a paid sponsorship with them, they were like, oh, influencers love to sell out and never talk about products again. No, this is literal proof. I have Kaja in all of my different categories because I love them so much, and I have so many of the trios because I think they're so convenient. I think they're great quality. I love the different shadow finishes and colors and stuff that they have. Some of these I haven't even opened yet, but I love them. I am in love with them. And to the person that just assumed that I didn't like it and I sold out, shame on you, because I truly do. I truly love it. I will be keeping my Charlotte Tilbury cream eyeshadows. These are so great. I have Chocolate Bronze and Oyster Pearl here. And I also have my other two shades, Amber Gold and I think Eternal Eyes or something like that, in my everyday makeup. Oh, I have this tiny Armani liquid eyeshadow. I don't use this, and I'm not really a big fan of this color for a one and done, and usually I like using these as one and dones, so I'm going to declutter this one. My Hourglass toppers, the eyeshadow toppers, I have Ray, Reflect, and Smoke. Ray is definitely my most used, but I do love these other two. These are insanely good eyeshadow toppers, but you can also wear these alone, and they're just the best. So I hate that these just never stay. They just fall out. And if you go to Ulta, every single one of these would be like out of the pan. They recently rebranded the Ulta Beauty collection, so maybe they fixed this problem. I don't know. But I have these two. Oh, this one is actually in the pan. This is Italian Ice, and then I also have a Champagne Sorbet. I'm gonna keep these in for reference mainly, but also I do like these. They're definitely not like super insane pigmentation. It's kind of similar, or it's very similar actually, to the Declutter one, where it's more subtle of a sheen and it's just like more of a wash of color. I have 3 of these Merit Solo shadows. I really love Social and Mid-Century. Those are going to be the ones I use the most. And then I have this pop of color called Viper, and I did label that for when I got it. And I got these a little bit before then, but Mid-Century is going to be like such a good everyday brown one and done. And then Social is this purpley mauve tone. However, it almost translates a little brown once it's on the eyes. So again, this is a great one and done. I have these Victoria Beckham single shadows, and to be honest with you guys, I love the packaging of these, but I cannot get these to work on me without creasing. I feel like the formulation of these are so thick on the eyes that no matter what I do, no matter what primer I've used, and I've used it with all of my primers, this will crease like crazy. I have the shades Mink Honey and Tea Rose, and they are all gorgeous, 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 gorgeous colors, but no matter what, they crease and I cannot figure it out. If you guys had the same issue and you have solved that, please let me know in the comments, because I would love to wear these. They're gorgeous. This one, especially this taupe, everyone always talks about it, but I'm telling you, even when you stick your finger in it, it feels like you're sticking your finger in a pot of like flour and then rubbing your finger against it. That's how thick it feels. And even when you rub it on the skin, I don't know, there's just something about it. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. You see that? If I could wear this every day, I totally would, but I just can't because it creases. It creases like crazy. I do want to keep these though, because I want to figure out how to make these work. And additionally, they're really great points of reference, you know, for eyeshadow colors and formulas, and just to have for like work purposes. So I'm keeping these. I also have these Sephora collection eyeshadows. I think that they may have discontinued a few of these. Like you guys were telling me you couldn't find this shade Choco XS, and that's a shame because this one is definitely one of my favorite one and dones, but I did buy these quite a long time ago. This one is actually broken. What's this one? This is in First Light. Wow, look how pretty that is. This is giving me Patrick Ta, we need better lighting. That's so pretty. See, these are nice because they're not glittery, they're just super shimmery. Another one that I have issues with is this one from Half Magic. This is the Dopamine Sparkle Glitter Puck. And this is, again, one of those thicker formulas that just crease like crazy on me. They came out with a silver one that I was super interested in. I think it's gorgeous, but I'm not going to be buying more of these until I figure out how to make this work. It's so pretty and I want to hold on to it because I want to make it work. I did have the single shadows from Half Magic, but again, those were so thick and like creamy and they crease like crazy, so I ended up returning those. All right, I have a bunch of Phytosurgence single eyeshadows here, like the pot eyeshadows. I have a ton actually because I went feral when I first found them and I was like, these all look gorgeous, and they are. All of them are absolutely gorgeous. I love these so much. You really have to like swirl your finger in though to get a lot of the product. However, I think it's so worth it. I like that it's buildable. You can like definitely build these up. Here are the shades and colors if you guys are interested. I've made only a couple of orders from them, but every time I make an order, I do buy quite a few things at a time because I very much enjoy Hypnotic Honey. Oh my gosh, the best one and done eyeshadow shade ever. It's so good. And then I have all of these really great colors too. I love their neutrals. Like I said, they really do their colors so well, and all of the tiny little nuances make the biggest difference for me. These About Face liquid paints, like fluid eye paints, when am I wearing these, you guys? Never. I'm never wearing these. I always am like, oh, I want to keep them because I don't have anything else like them, and when I need them, I'll have them. But what do I need them? With that being said, I'm keeping these. I am gonna keep these. They don't take up that much room, okay? This one though, the eye shimmer in the shade Fracture, I already went through one thing of this because it's that good. I love this so much. I need to wear this again. I have another Armani cream eyeshadow here. The number rubbed off on this one actually, but it's really beautiful. It's a little bit of a taupey shade. I have more of the About Face fluid eye paints, like the little babies. I like having these little babies again, in case I need them for literally no reason. I have a couple of Amicole eyeshadows, liquid eyeshadows. These are actually very pretty. They're super easy to use as one and done eyeshadows. These are in the shades, what are they? These are in the shade Bedstoy and Harlem. Really beautiful. You can see the shades right there in the font. I do have a couple of Rem Beauty liquid shadows. These are probably my favorite thing from the line. I don't have a lot of Rem Beauty, but these have stolen the show for me. They are incredible, especially the shade Less Than 3 or Heart, whatever you want to call it. Okay, I want to go through and make sure that all of these sticks are still good. They're not dried out or anything like that. I do have this eyeshadow primer from Kaleidos that I'm going to keep, and the rest of these I need to swatch them out to make sure that they are still good. But yeah, I'll show you guys what that looks like once I do that. Once I finish, I'll show you what I kept. Oh, here is Less Than 3. This is the one that I use the most from Rem Beauty. Oh, by the way, I do have 2 of these Rabanne color shots. I forgot that I got these, and I thought these were so beautiful. This is Meteor Light and 1969. These are gorgeous. They're like eye paints. And I also have very similar eye paints to these from Haus Labs. So I have this shimmer, this silver shimmer eye paint from Haus Labs. And then I also have rose gold shimmer, which is very beautiful. These are all really beautiful eye paints. A random Surat eyeshadow, which, surprise, surprise, has that duochrome shift to it. Some random NYX glitters. I'm gonna get rid of that. My eyelash cluster at home accessories. A bunch of ColourPop shadows. Are they discontinuing this Super Shock shadow formulation? I think I heard that somewhere, but I have a ton. I don't reach for these if I'm being 100%. So I'm gonna have to get rid of some. This one I do want to put in my memory box though, because this was by far my favorite one. This is in the shade Lala. I would like to keep Ritz though, because this one is always being referenced as a Urban Decay Space Cowboy dupe. To be honest with you guys, I think I can just get rid of all of these because I love the Super Shock shadow line. They were incredible. They were innovative. They really changed the game for a lot of us, but I'm not using them. And at this point, I'm just holding on to them. They're taking up a lot of really needed space. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter. Actually, I might keep a couple, like this one in Summerside. I can see myself still wearing this color. Look, you guys, I revived these Jelly Mud shadows last time. Like I just added water and mixed them up and they're back to being dry. That's fine. Like it's totally fine. That makes a lot of sense why that happened. But if I have to do that all the time, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of these. These are beautiful. I love the Jelly Mud shadows, especially because of those duochromes. Oh my gosh, they're so pretty. But again, I don't really need them. And I feel like a lot of indie brands that I have now do the same thing with a lot less fuss. I do want to keep this Nightmare Before Christmas one though. This is in the shade Beryl. All right, and then a bunch of different shadow sticks and eyeliners and stuff that I'm gonna go through, and I will show you guys what that looks like. Okay guys, I'm back and I wanted to show you what the drawer looks like. Here is the finished drawer. I know it still looks cluttered, but I mean, we didn't get rid of that much. I just basically reorganized everything. So we have our cream shadows and liquid shadows here. Lashes are back there stored away because I won't be reaching for those very often. We have single shadows along that side, as well as a couple of like duos and small quads and stuff. And then I have my eyeshadow sticks lined up here. I figured that's probably better so I can like actually see them. And then of course we have all of our palettes. I kind of have them grouped by brand, but I also sort of have them grouped by size. And we have it from like what I'm probably going to use the most to back there what's not going to be reached for realistically. So this is what we're looking at. It's looking a lot better in my opinion. I do plan on testing out further more things in this drawer because as you guys saw, there's a lot of things I either forgot about or I didn't realize I had, and I want to make sure that I thoroughly test things. I keep saying that I did get more into eyeshadows this year, and hopefully 2025 I get even more into them. So I plan on doing that, and then as we go, I'll decide if I want to keep things, if I want to declutter them, you know. So these are always going to be works in progress for sure. But that concludes our declutter video, our entire collection. This drawer right here, you guys, it's fairly, like, I don't feel like I need to really declutter this too much. These are makeup PR pieces. So I have skincare PR and then I have makeup PR, and this is going to be makeup PR that I'm still planning on trying out and testing and stuff, and also things that I have backups of or things that I purchased like in Japan and stuff. So that is what this one is. We're not going to really touch that one too much because I don't really have much experience with a good amount of the things in here yet. But yeah, that concludes our makeup collection declutter. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that it kept you entertained. I know this is going to be a very long video, so if you guys stuck around with me, please make sure to give this video a like. Let me know in the comments down below if you did watch through this whole thing. I really appreciate you guys, especially looking back at this year. It was a huge year for me personally and professionally, and I'm just so glad that I can share that with you guys. So I will also link right here for you guys our last declutter that happened during the summertime if you're curious to see a little back check of where we started. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.